News 25 is brought to you by Golden Casino Group, where you'll always find great fun, good food, and fantastic entertainment, all at Gold Town, Lakeside, and the Pahrump Nugget. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-990 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight, a press conference is held regarding an officer-involved shooting and the latest coronavirus update. News 25 starts now.
This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
And a Nye County officer is on administrative leave following a shooting. It's Friday, February 28th. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Well, the Nye County deputy that fired his weapon during the pursuit of a shoplifter early Wednesday morning is on administrative leave, pending an investigation into the incident.
Held a news conference Friday morning to detail what led up to the shooting. It all started around 3 o'clock Wednesday morning when Walmart asset protection employees called the sheriff's office to report that there were 4 people inside the store opening packages and concealing merchandise inside of suitcases. Sheriff Sharon Worley says responding deputies observed the suspects stealing merchandise from the store. They then watched as the 4 suspects left the store. Deputies contained 3 of the suspects in the Walmart parking lot. They're identified as 34-year-old Larry Hermanson, 34-year-old Stephen Cook, and 29-year-old Sally Diaz. The sheriff says the 4th suspect, 24-year-old Joseph Beltran, exited through the auto center. Deputy James Ramos drove his patrol vehicle behind the building in an attempt to locate Beltran. Deputy Xavier Gideon pursued Beltran on foot.
Deputy Ramos proceeded southbound on Dahlia Street behind Walmart in his patrol vehicle and confronted Joseph Beltran behind Walmart near a dumpster bin. Deputy Ramos ordered Beltran to stop at gunpoint. During that encounter, Deputy Ramos fired 1 round from his handgun at Beltran. Joseph Beltran was not struck by the gunfire, and he was uninjured. Beltran was taken into custody without incident at this point. No weapon was found on Beltran.
The deputies' body cameras recorded the pursuit and the shooting.
Get on the floor! Get on the ground! Get on the ground. Oh, no. What did I do? Get on the ground. You. Sir. Turn around. Sir. Turn around. Sir, please. Turn around. Sir, please. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Shots fired. Get on the ground.
Joseph Beltran of Las Vegas was booked on the following charges: conspiracy to commit grand larceny, conspiracy to burglary, resisting a public officer, obstructing a peace officer, participation in an organized retail theft, grand larceny, and burglary. The other 3 suspects were also placed under arrest. Larry Hermanson, also of Las Vegas, is facing similar charges, including conspiracy to commit grand larceny, conspiracy to burglary, possession of a controlled substance, trafficking a controlled substance, resisting a public officer, obstructing a peace officer, participation in an organized retail theft, grand larceny, and burglary. Stephen Cook of Henderson was booked on charges of displaying a bogus vehicle plate or registration, proof of insurance required, owning or possessing a gun by a prohibited person, use or possession of drug paraphernalia, and accessory to burglary. The last suspect, Sally Diaz of Las Vegas, was placed under arrest and booked on the following charges: conspiracy to burglary, participation in an organized retail theft, and grand larceny. Sheriff Worley confirms that none of the suspects were armed, though they did find a gun inside a suspect's vehicle. She also responded to a question about the use of force in this situation.
Is it policy for a deputy to fire upon a suspected shoplifter?
Depends upon the circumstances.
Okay. From the body cam footage, it appeared that the suspect was not in a threatening position.
Well, that's under investigation, so that's all I can say about that at the moment.
Deputy James Ramos, who discharged his weapon during the incident, is on administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation into the shooting.
Since first reported in Wuhan, China in late December of 2019, the outbreak of the novel coronavirus, now known as SARS-CoV-2, severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2, has spread globally. As of February 27th, more than 82,000 cases of coronavirus disease and 2,800 deaths have been reported, of which approximately 95% of the cases and 97% of the deaths are in China. Cases have now been reported in 49 other countries. A particularly large outbreak occurred among the passengers and crew of the Diamond Princess cruise ship, where more than 700 infections are reported. Current estimates of the incubation period range from 1 to 14 days, with a median of 5 to 6 days. Although recent case reports suggest that the incubation period may be as long as 24 days, which is longer than the 14 days that the World Health Organization and the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have been using to inform quarantine policies. At present, testing capabilities remain limited. According to data published on the Center for Disease Control coronavirus site, fewer than 500 tests have been conducted in the United States. Recently, China approved the use of favipiravir, an antiviral drug used for influenza, as an investigational therapy for the virus. In total, more than 100 clinical trials are currently underway to test novel and repurposed compounds against the SARS-CoV-2. No vaccine is currently available. More than 11 vaccine candidates are in development at this time, and a phase 1 study of a vaccine is expected to begin in March of 2020. News 25 will return right after this break.
Watching KPVM News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back. Well, Americans are relying more on Social Security than ever. Angela Miles has details and more financial news in today's Business First Brief.
Here's Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, stock market survival. 2020 brought a wild year for the stock market. In tough times, analysts often advise to stay close to home by sticking with mostly investing in U.S. companies. Among the industries, utilities, real estate, and consumer staples, which are businesses that make everyday household goods such as paper towels. Americans are relying on Social Security more than ever. According to a Gallup poll, 90% of retired workers say they are somewhat reliant on their monthly benefit checks just to make ends meet. 65 is the most popular age when people start to take Social Security checks. However, at that age, the monthly payout is reduced by 25 to 30%. Waiting until the age of 70 can mean more money in your pocket.
To find out where you can see us every day, go to businessfirstam.com.
And let's go to Unette Gentry, who gives us an update on a case making its way through our courts.
Melinda Heinrichs made an appearance in Justice Court this Monday for her arraignment hearing, which has now been continued to March 9th, so the defendant can have time to discuss her case with her newly appointed public defender. This was done after the court inquired as to whether the defendant would like to waive or invoke her right to a speedy preliminary hearing. Heinrichs is facing the formal charges of theft, embezzlement value greater than $3,500, and fraudulently appropriating property by an officer, $650 or greater. This after a criminal complaint was filed in Pahrump Justice Court against her and sent to the DA's office. Heinrichs is accused of stealing more than $100,000 from the Nye County Juvenile Probation Department. The complaint against her alleges that she was stealing funds, and that started back in 2014 and continued for approximately 5 years. Heinrichs is accused of taking payments and deposits entrusted to her, then keeping those funds for herself. This has been your court report. I'm Unette Gentry for News 25.
Thanks so much, Unette. Well, 5 members of Nevada Task Force 1 and a dog named Glory have been participating in Fairbanks, Alaska in Exercise Arctic Eagle 2020, which involves about 900 Air and Army National Guardsmen and from other states and across the nation in efforts to spread across Alaska, designed to provide opportunities for participants to conduct sustained operations in the extreme cold weather conditions found in Arctic environments. 5 personnel from Nevada, along with 16 personnel from Utah Task Force 1, arrived in Alaska on Friday, February 21st, and are returning tonight. They have been in Fairbanks evaluating the following: cold weather gear for urban search and rescue personnel, performance of electronic equipment in sub-zero temperatures to determine their capabilities and reliability, evaluate cold and weather gear for search and rescue canines, and interfacing and operating with military units in Arctic conditions. Well, I know that I have been sick with the cold, and in our Cleveland Clinic report, cold and flu season leaves many people miserable, and most times we can chalk it up to the common cold. But according to Cleveland Clinic's Dr. Dan Allen, what we think is a cold may turn out to be walking pneumonia.
Sometimes it's a little harder to pick up. Some people think they just have a bad head cold or a chest cold, and they're walking kind of half awake, walking through their day and trying to get through, the day's work or whatever, and not even realizing that they have it.
Dr. Allen says walking pneumonia is a less serious form of pneumonia and is caused by a different bacteria than typical pneumonia. He says oftentimes people don't even know they have it and will continue to go to work or school because the warning signs can be subtle. Symptoms of walking pneumonia include cough, fatigue, and headache, which can be mistaken for a head cold or sinus infection. You may experience some shortness of breath or wheezing, which can be mistaken for a chest cold. Walking pneumonia is typically diagnosed by listening to a person's lungs, assessing vital signs, performing a chest x-ray, or even blood work. Dr. Allen says treatment consists of an antibiotic, but not the same one used for traditional pneumonia. If you notice you've been suffering from cold-like symptoms and they're lingering without improvement, he says it's time to get checked out by your doctor.
If you're feeling quite ill, get checked out, or if it's more than a week or two and it's not improving, you need to get checked out. Once you're cured even, you can cough for weeks beyond that, and it can be a really long, prolonged dry cough that just doesn't seem to want to go away.
Dr. Allen says walking pneumonia is most common in people who spend a lot of time close to one another, such as young children, college students, or military members. There's no vaccine, so your best line of defense is good, regular hand washing.
Well, thanks so much, Brad. We'll have more news right after this.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyers, Nye County's injury attorneys. Don't get bullied by insurance companies. Call Jason Ernest and bully them back at 775-727-9500.
Well, if you're a fan of Southern rock, you're going to love a band that's playing here in town. We spoke to Drew Jackson recently about his band Sweet Home Alabama, who's performing tonight at the Bearded Lady.
Sweet Home Alabama is a Southern rock band. Started out as a Leonard Skinner tribute band about 10 years ago and came from Los Angeles. And the founder, Jeff Outlaw, our guitar player, brought it here to Las Vegas. And I joined them about 3 years ago. We still do the tribute of Leonard Skinner, but we also do a Southern rock style. So we mix in a bunch of different artists that do Southern rock and classic rock as well.
Yeah. You guys are performing locally?
We are. We're playing over at the Bearded Lady. I'm excited, being a resident of Pahrump for 21 years, my first chance to actually come out here and rock it out. So, and it's what a great venue to do it.
How are you guys doing in Vegas right now? I see you performing quite a bit.
Yeah, we are booked heavily. As a matter of fact, we're going to be playing Saturday at the House of Blues. We're usually there 2 or 3 times a month at the House of Blues, but we play a lot of different venues there in Vegas, down in Laughlin quite a bit as well.
Wow, fantastic. So the Bearded Lady, what time are you performing?
We're starting at 8 o'clock, and we're going to go till as long as there's a crowd there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it should be a whiskey drinking, boot stomp, a good time.
So come on down. And to find out more about Sweet Home Alabama?
shaband.com, or you can go to my website as well, which is drewjackson.com.
Thank you. All right. Well, Darby is going to introduce us to Tiger, who's a cat, available now at Desert Haven.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Hi, I'm I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Tiger. Tiger is a gray adult male tabby. He is so beautiful. He has wonderful markings on his face. He has a lot of dark brown and black on him. He has beautiful green eyes. He is a lover. He cuddles, he's purring. Right when I went up to his cage, he started putting his head right into my hand. He's such a sweet boy. Definitely come and see him and all of his friends here at Desert Haven Animal Society. They're on Ceres Lane behind the Nye County Courthouse. You can give them a call at 775-751-7020. You can look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society. Bye, Tiger. He's just cuddling.
Well, Lynn Peterson is standing by right now with this week's entertainment report.
Welcome to this week's entertainment reports. 64-year-old daredevil Mike Hughes has passed away in a rocket ride that had gone wrong. He had launched himself in a homemade steam-powered rocket that had crash-landed due to the parachute separating early at the start to bring him down safely. He was pronounced dead at the scene of the crash, where he was recording a show on the Discovery Channel called Homemade Astronauts. He will forever be known for his flat Earth theories and as Mad Mike the Rocket Man. Last year's extraterrestrial themed party called Alien Stock has brought up more concerns in rural Lincoln County, Nevada. There has been some promotions of the event leading up to the possibility of it having to occur once again, but many in Lincoln County, including the officials, want the event to be self-supported with no burden on the county and its people. But the original owners of the Little Alien, located in Rachel, Nevada, want to move forward and are fighting not only to throw the festival, but to retain the name originally named by Maddie Robert. Prince Harry and Bon Jovi have teamed up to record a charity single to support the Invictus Games. The duo have recorded in the Abbey Road studios in London to re-record Bon Jovi's 2019 single, Unbroken. Prince Harry's Foundation is a multinational sports event that aids sick and injured servicemen and women. To find out more, visit Invictus Games. The Cirque du Soleil Run is set to close up shop on March 8th. Cirque du Soleil said the Luxor show doesn't have the time and resources needed to enhance the performances. The special effects live action show featuring talented performers began in April of 2019. To find out more and to get your tickets, look up Cirque du Soleil Run on the web. I'm Lynn Peterson. This has been your entertainment this week.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Well, I think if we take a look on our weather cam, we'll see a little bit of clouds that were rolling in earlier today. The skies are kind of gloomy out there. We're going to find out what your weekend weather has in store after this break.
News 25 Weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hello and welcome back to News 25. I'm Michael Donohue with today's weather. In Las Vegas, we had a high of 71 degrees, a low of 48. Death Valley, 82, their low is 56 degrees. 72-45 in Hermosa, 69-43 in Beatty, 63 for the high in Goldfield, 62 in Tonopah. Both those towns have a low of 34 degrees. 65, a low of 41 in Carson City, 68 in Fallon and Fernley, 39 for the low in Fallon, and 40 degrees for the low up in Fernley. Now today in Pahrump, we saw partly cloudy skies. Our high today was 73 degrees. Winds coming out of the south-southwest at 5 miles per hour, 15% humidity, and our sunrise at 6:15 this morning. Tonight we're going to see mostly cloudy skies. Our low is going to be 46 degrees. It is 68 outside currently with winds coming out of the east-southeast at 6 miles per hour. Our humidity at 27% and 5:37 p.m. for our sunset. Now looking ahead to our 7-day, we are going to see some clouds hanging out through the weekend. We're expected to clean up by Monday through Wednesday, and those clouds rolling back in Thursday and Friday. Now, we're also going to see some very high winds this weekend, up to 14-mile-per-hour winds on Saturday, up to 18 miles per hour on Sunday. Thankfully, those are going to die down just a little bit, down to 13 miles per hour Tuesday and 12 miles per hour by next Friday. Temperature-wise, on Saturday, we're going to be seeing a high of 56 degrees, 66 on Sunday, up to 70 on Monday, coming down just a little bit to highs of 67 on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then 73 and 74 by next Thursday and Friday. For our overnights, looking a little bit more tame. We're just going to be hanging out in those mid to low 40s, just around 40 and 45 degrees for our overnights, with the exception of Tuesday, where we're going to be seeing a low of 36 degrees. And so now with that, we're going to throw it back to the desk with Deanna.
All right, tie down your lawn furniture. All right, that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell from all of us here at KPVM-TV and Ace Country Radio. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.